Sarper Güven Shekinah Garner reveal major 90-Day Fiancé Season 11 spoiler about real relationship status after hinting at split. A big spoiler about 90-Day Fiancé couple Sarper Güven and Shekinah Garner has been revealed in a shocking plot twist after the American woman hinted at their split. Sarper used to work as a personal trainer in Turkey and had been with more than 2,500 women. There was something about Los Angeles esthetician Shikina that attracted Sarper, even though he delayed making their relationship official. Shikina had trust issues with Sarper but also liked to be controlled by him when it came to her appearance. The tables turned when the 90-Day Fiancé Season 11 star moved to America. Sarper and Shikina seemed to be heading for a split during 90-Day Fiancé Season 11, but in real life, things are looking different. Shabuti shared a picture of Sarper and Shikina with his parents from their trip to Las Vegas. It showed Sarper standing between his mom and Shikina, with his left hand around Shikina's waist. The blogger zoomed in on his hand to show an important detail. The blogger mentioned that Sarper and Shikina are married and Sarper is wearing his wedding band. This confirms that Sarper and Shikina's 90-Day Fiancé Season 11 journey ends with them tying the knot despite Sarper threatening her in a recent episode that he'd go back to Turkey. What Sarper marrying Shikina in 90-Day Fiancé Season 11 means. Is this the beginning of the end for Shikina and Sarper? Sarper and Shikina have been questioning their future together on 90-Day Fiancé. Sarper admitted that he felt weak in America because he was unable to work. When he shared that he was feeling depressed from sitting idle at home, Shikina became defensive, telling him he was punishing her for something beyond her control. Shikina accused Sarper of being distant, rude, and cold since arriving in America, while Sarper confessed that he no longer felt the same obsession with her as he did in Turkey. Shikina ultimately declared that she didn't know if she still wanted to get married. Things improved slightly between Sarper and Shikina in the next episode of 90-Day Fiancé Season 11 after they shared some intimate moments. While they realized that sex was the glue holding them together, they still needed to get on the same page emotionally. Shikina managed to move her work out of the home so that Sarper would feel less confined. She also supported his new career aspiration to become a stand-up comedian. However, Sarper let her down when he insulted her friend Dan, who had come to watch his performance and offer support. Our take on Sarper and Shikina as a married 90-Day Fiancé couple. Is a trip to the last resort next for Shikina and Sarper? Even though Sarper and Shikina may have filmed 90-Day Fiancé Season 11 almost a year ago, things have seemed rough between them recently. Shikina has even hinted at leaving the franchise, given how difficult her relationship with Sarper has been. Perhaps Shikina and Sarper were not meant for marriage, as they had initially planned. Distance, financial concerns, and trust issues also played a role in their struggles. Fans have already started wondering if their marital troubles mean that their next spin-off will take them to couples therapy instead of a happily ever after. You need to learn responsibility. 90-Day Fiancé's Shekinah Garner issues strong warning to Sarper Güven in bold new life update. Shekinah Garner called out Sarper Güven for being an irresponsible partner in a shocking new update after their explosive argument during 90-Day Fiancé Season 11. Shikina is an esthetician from Los Angeles who fell for the personal trainer from Turkey during The Other Way Season 5. Sarper displayed red flags such as excessive control and angry outbursts, and Shikina expected him to change, which he did as he came to the US. Sarper got the approval from Shikina's daughter and family, but he wasn't happy with the living conditions in Shikina's house and experienced homesickness. Shikina and Sarper seemed to break up in the latest episode of 90-Day Fiancé, during which the Turkish man threatened to leave her for not addressing his needs. Shikina is now firing back. Shikina recorded herself talking to fans on Instagram, via 90-Day Fiancé breaking news, in which she said, "You guys do not know what I've been through with this man in this relationship. You don't know the squander that I pulled him out of." As per Shikina, Sarper was living the most toxic, unhealthy life, but he has a beautiful life now, where he has love, structure, companionship, and true intimacy. Shikina noted that before her, all Sarper knew were meaningless experiences, and now everything in his life has improved. Shikina noted that since Sarper is 45 years old, he needs to learn responsibility. So it's hard for him, she added. Shikina thinks that it's difficult for Sarper to understand that his feelings are not the only ones that matter. She confessed that she's had to deal with a lot of learning curves, even though she knew what she was getting into. She thinks she could be at fault for dating someone who's never had a serious relationship before. What Shikina means when she says she pulled Sarper out of squander. Did Shikina really improve Sarper's life? Shikina may have meant to use the word squalor but mistakenly said squander. She claimed Sarper lived in messy, unhygienic conditions when they met. She may have been referring to his old bed, which she made him replace after moving in. Otherwise, his apartment appeared decent on camera. Sarper seemed financially stable in Turkey, working at a gym and taking on acting and modeling gigs. Shikina was reportedly the reason that he began dipping into his savings. Sarper didn't let Shikina spend any of her money when she lived with him. He provided her with the best lifestyle and even bought her flight tickets. Perhaps Sarper expected that Shikina would do the same for him once he moved to America. Instead, he realized that he had to live in a cramped house where Shikina was servicing her clients in the kitchen. She expected Sarper to leave the house whenever she had a client over. His new living situation made Sarper slip into a depression. When he told Shikina about it, she dismissed his concerns. Our take on Shikina taking relationship drama to social media despite NDA. Shikina doesn't look like a villain on TV. Shikina has been accused of stirring up drama on social media to secure a spot in the next season of 90 Day, The Last Resort. While Sarper was seen as controlling in Turkey, Shikina's demeanor shifted once she felt more in control back home. She's now posting videos and messages on Instagram to defend herself. Meanwhile, 90 Day Fiancé fans see Sarper making an effort to become a better partner. What Shikina needs is to show him compassion and stop expecting him to change to suit her needs whenever she chooses. Are Sarper Güven and Shekinah Garner still together after 90 Day Fiancé Season 11? 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 couple Sarper Güven and Shekinah Garner's current relationship status has been revealed, and it is kind of surprising. Sarper is a 45-year-old model, actor, and personal trainer from Turkey who crossed paths with esthetician Shikina from Los Angeles on a dating app during her Istanbul vacation. Sarper wasn't serious about dating Shikina, even though Sarper wearing highlighter on their first date made her fall for him instantly. As things heated up between the two, Shikina moved to Turkey in The Other Way Season 5. Sarper was bossy toward Shikina, even disrespecting her in front of her sister. He wanted her to look and act a certain way, yet went from sleeping with over 3,000 women to committing to Shikina. Sarper earned her trust and moved to the US after their fairytale engagement, despite being happy in Turkey. Once in America, the dynamic shifted as Shikina took charge, especially regarding their living situation in a house that also served as her office. Biggest challenges faced by Sarper and Shikina on 90 Day Fiancé. Sarper and Shikina's 90 Day Fiancé journey explained. Shikina remained uneasy about Sarper's controversial past, especially his boastful claims of thousands of romantic conquests and his habit of keeping mementos. Her main concern was whether his commitment was real and lasting. Now in the US, Sarper was grappling with a tough transition, financial strain, and job-hunting woes as they inched towards their wedding date. Tensions mount as his past bad boy persona and controlling tendencies resurface, fueling Shikina's doubts. Despite efforts to move forward, the couple faced emotional and cultural hurdles, raising questions about whether their relationship can withstand the pressure of reinvention and unresolved trust issues. Shikina and Sarper discussed their split. Sarper wished to return to Turkey. Sarper had to get Shikina's family to give him a fair chance and see that he was a good partner to Shikina after the positive changes he'd made to his life and personality. Sarper's meetings with Shikina's daughter and sisters went well. Shikina hoped for the changes that Sarper made to stick, given his past. However, a week after returning to Los Angeles from meeting Shikina's sisters in Whitefish, Montana, Sarper and Shikina got into a fight. She recorded the audio of the argument with Sarper declaring he was going back to his country. If I do end up coming back, Fusen, no one will be able to hold me back anymore. 3,500 women after that. Shikina felt Sarper didn't appreciate the adjustments she made to her life for him. They weren't talking, and Sarper was sleeping on the couch. Sarper claimed Shikina was disrespectful towards him. He almost booked a flight to Turkey and decided they were either going to fix things or break up, and he would leave the country. When Sarper tried to talk to Shikina, he told her she would cry for years for him if they broke up. I don't even know if I want to get married, Shikina declared, leaving Sarper feeling confused. Shikina and Sarper were still together in March 2025. Shikina sparked split rumors in April 2025. Sarper was seemingly spotted in Los Angeles for the first time in August 2024. Considering he was on a K-1 visa, Sarper and Shikina did get married on 90-day Fiancé for him to continue living in America. In March 2025, Loren Bravarnik and Alexei Bravarnik treated Sarper and Shikina to dinner in their Florida home. However, in April 2025, Shikina shared a cryptic Instagram story about what really sucks in her relationship and listed down points, the etherealitiveness, that made it look like she was upset about Sarper not having changed at all and that he was still controlling.